Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Asian Football Show. It has been a while. It's been around 2 months since the last upload. I mean, not much has gone on. This is episode 37. I'm happy to be joined with my co-hosts, Kenta Hagiwara and Erfan Hoseiny. How are you guys doing? Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, yes.
For those who have not heard the news,
Um,
we are proud to
just
be
just having my mixed
sponsored.
drinks.
Exactly.
Yeah,
We're proud to be sponsored by Mix of Drinks. So Erfan's going to talk a little bit more about that. So yeah, here we go.
yeah, just
All right, bro, we got the message, man.
so yeah.
Oh,
As Arya said, yeah, we're proud to be sponsored by Mixer Drinks. You know, Mixer offers a variety of drinks from vitamin C's to fruit juices, and as well as multivitamins, and available in several Asian countries like Iran, Oman, and parts of the UAE and Afghanistan as well. So if you do see it, make sure to check it out. I promise you won't regret it. And yeah, that's basically
yes.
it.
So yeah, thank you again. A huge thank you to Mix of Drinks for sponsoring the Asian Football Show, the channel. It means a lot. And yeah, let's get on with today's episode. We have a lot to cover. We have the Club World Cup. We have some of the CAFA stuff. We have the AFF Championship. We have some women's football action. We have, of course, the World Cup qualifiers round 4. The draw to happen. We have the ACL Elite, ACL 2, the qualifiers, the draws, and I think the Women's Asian Cup Under-20 qualifiers. Now, before this episode started, I was telling the guys, hey, we should go through the club friendlies of the Asian teams that have played, but there's just too many of them to cover, so we apologize for that. So, yeah, let's start with the Club World Cup. I mean, wow. I mean, it seems like it's been a while now since the Club World Cup. It's crazy to say. So, yeah, the Club World Cup. What an interesting competition that was. Unfortunately for Asian sides, with the exception of Al Hilal, didn't really go well for the Asian sides. So I'll let one of you guys take it from here.
um, yeah, I guess I'll start things off. So if we want to talk about the AFC teams, we'll start off in Group E, where our Diamonds took place. I think Kenta uh, would also like to speak about this. Yeah, but they finished last with 0 points in 3 games, scored 2 goals, conceded 9. And to be fair, they weren't bad versus Inter. They were actually doing pretty well until the last 50 minutes of the game, where they conceded 2 goals and proceeded to lose. Um, but yeah, then they got absolutely demolished by Monterrey, and also lost to River Plate. So, Kenta, what do you make of their campaign?
Yeah, I mean it. They played well against Inter, as you said. It's a really disappointing result to concede in the 78th and then concede in stoppage time. I don't think they played well against River Plate at all in the opening match, and that's one of those matches where with the format of the tournament, you just can't afford to be playing poorly in the first match, and they really just weren't really cohesive as a unit. And CF Monterrey, it kind of felt like a home game to go to the Rose Bowl. Their supporters were there. Not to say that Red Diamonds didn't show up, because they did. Like, their supporters, if you watched any of the matches, you could tell their ultras were incredible and they traveled really well. But it really felt like a home match for Monterrey in that final match day. They had a lot to play for. I really didn't, because I don't think they had a chance at moving on at that point. And so it's a disappointing result, I guess. But all things considered, to be included in the tournament, and after a stretch of rough results in league play over the last year or so, to have that recognition and to be competitive against a UCL finalist last year, that's I'm sure that there's great memories to take away from that. But in terms of results, it was not particularly impressive.
Yeah, the next group, the Group G, I think, or sorry, Group F, we had Ulsan HD, a great friend of our channel. We like to make fun of them because of their name. Yeah, unfortunately for them, they didn't have
They
the
deserve
best.
it. Yeah, they deserve it.
Yeah, they were not great. I mean, let's be honest. and it's weird because I think in that game against Dortmund where they lost 1-0, I don't think they were particularly that bad either. Although to be fair, Dortmund did bring out their B team, so doesn't tell much. But yeah, I think Ulsan HD is it. Can we agree they were probably the worst Asian team at that tournament? They just the definition of mid. I'm sorry, Ulsan HD fans. It's just there was nothing there. At least
Very disappointing.
yeah. I mean, at least Urawa had that inter game to kind of brag about. Even then, Al Ain had a game that they won, and then Al Hilal will get through them as well. Any comments on Ulsan, or do we just leave it at that?
I'll add. I mean, like Ulsan, their score lines are kind of deceiving to an extent. I mean, as you said, the Dortmund match was not particularly close. Like it's a 1-0 result. But
Exactly.
that is not indicative of what kind of performance they put together, where they were outshot like 30-3,
Exactly.
somewhere around that range. So like we're not talking about this match where it's back and forth and Ulsan really had a legitimate chance to get a result against Borussia Dortmund. That's just not the case. This group as a whole in Group F is really interesting. I think Dortmund and Fluminense were both really, really strong, and Mamelodi Sundowns, to their credit, like put up fights against both of them. So Ulsan kind of was just kind of the oddball out. But I guess they hung around, defensively speaking. They only conceded, 1 goal in 2 of the matches. So if you want to take something away from that's I suppose what you do. But
This
um,
is this is
I'm
Kenta's.
just more excited to see what they do with Shin Tae-young as their manager now. But for now, without a new man, the last year or so with Osan HD has just been so
This
unbelievably
is
underwhelming between
this is
ACL and
Kenta's way.
now Club World Cup.
This is Kenta's way of saying that they're basically ass. That's his way of saying it. Someone had to say it, man. Someone had to say it. Group G, Man City, Juventus, Al Ain, and Wydad Casablanca from Morocco. Al Ain, I mean, looking at their results, the first two games were freaking terrible, man. 5-0 against Juventus, 6-0 against City, which again is expected. It is two really good teams. I don't think anyone was expecting them to lose by that much of a margin, but at least, they came back in that third game against Wydad Casablanca, which I think at that point both teams were already eliminated, so the game didn't mean much. It was most of just a consolation game. But they got something to get out of that. They got 3 points, so they went home saying, hey, at least we got 3 points out of that group. And it's a tough group. Like, to be fair to them, having City, Juventus, and Wydad Casablanca in a group is not easy. So they got something out of it. I know they were planning to sign some players specifically for that tournament. I think they got
Rui
don't remember who
Patricio.
it was. Yeah, Rui Patricio, I think it was, and then I know there was a few other players that didn't happen. So yeah, credit to them. Don't have anything really else to add unless you guys want to add something.
Yeah, I'll speak about that. I think that they came into the tournament the wrong way. I don't think they signed the right players. Even before, even when they won the AFC Champions League, they didn't really spend and change their team. Teams when they usually win continental titles, they go on a spending spree. They use their money to make their team even better. But Al Ain didn't do that. They kept most of their players, and it didn't work out for them. And same thing with the Club World Cup. They didn't really get the right players. I mean, yeah, they got Rui Patricio, but he conceded 5. So he's washed. We all know that. Uh, and then, yeah, they conceded 6 versus Juventus. I mean, yeah, like you said, Arya, to be fair to them, it is a hard group. No one expected them to qualify. And yeah, at least they got the win.
Moving on to Group H, I think that's the only time where we're gonna really have something positive to talk about an Asian team here. Al Hilal, man, they did really well. Group H against Real Madrid, Salzburg, and Pachuca. I mean, I know the group wasn't necessarily like the hardest either. I think if there was one group that was doable, it was this one. That 1-1 draw against Real Madrid, put them in a fantastic position. They drew 0-0 to Salzburg, and then they won against Pachuca. So brilliant for them. They got what they needed to get out of that group stage. Then comes to that knockout stage game against Man City. I think that's where everyone said, okay, they're not gonna win. That's where the road ends for Al Hilal. But they went ahead and they won the game. Marcos Leonardo scored in the 112th minute, and I still vividly remember that day on Twitter because people were going crazy in the Asian football community. It was it was an amazing game. So kudos to them. And then they faced Fluminense, a team they could have beaten, but I think Fluminense, they're not an AFC team, so I'm not going to go too deep into them. But the way they also showed out at the World Cup, I think was very nice. Banger of a game, 2-1. Unfortunately for Al Hilal, they couldn't go further. What do you guys make of that?
I'll speak about it before you, Kenta. So yeah, no, that Al Hilal versus Man City game was the game of the tournament, in my opinion. It was amazing. I mean, just back and forth action for 120 minutes. And yeah, even in the group stages, Al Hilal played really well. They went unbeaten, and it's not easy to do so in a group with two European teams, one of them being Real Madrid. And it's not like they got lucky. They actually played very, very well against Real Madrid. They even had chances to win the game. And yeah, just also a fantastic tournament by Marcos Leonardo. I think he got maybe 4 goals, 5 goals throughout the tournament. Yeah, did really well. And just, I think it's a tournament that not only Al Hilal but all Asians should be proud of because of them.
Agreed. Kenta?
I mean, yeah, I mean, we got Marcus Leonardo. Fine, fair enough. We can talk about him, but Bono, my goodness, what a tournament by him. I feel like obviously at the 22 World Cup, how he performed with his nation in Morocco and how far they advanced. I know they're not an Asian country, was really impressive at that time, and it was headline. And then he goes over to Al Hilal, right? And like he's kind of out of mainstream European kind of news, I guess, if you were to talk about like football, like Twitter or whatever you want to call it. He had another incredible tournament. I mean, you look at the Real Madrid match, you look at particularly that Man City match, he had over 10 saves in a match where you won by a goal in extra time. I mean, we're talking about like a significant performance for a goalkeeper to put together for your team to play. So, Bono's still one of the best goalkeepers in the world, I think, at this point, and a key reason. I think the most important player for Al Hilal at the Club World Cup, even more than Marcus Leonardo.
Yeah, shout out to Bono, born in Montreal, actually, where I'm from. So that's a fun fact. Yeah, that concludes the Club World Cup. Let's move on to the East Asian Championship, which I'm sure Kenta has a lot to talk about. I followed it a little bit, both men's and women. I watched a little bit of it, not enough to really make a full commentary on it, but yeah, it was mostly a B team for South Korea and Japan, the big guys. I think Hong Kong and China. I think Hong Kong had their main team. I'm not sure about China, but yeah, Japan won the whole thing for the men's side. So let's start with the men's side. Yeah, let's go, Kenta. I'll leave it up to you, man. Go crazy.
Yeah, the four teams again: Japan, South Korea, China, and Hong Kong. Um, and Japan ended up winning all three matches with 9 points. South Korea with six, China with three, and Hong Kong with zero. Um, yeah, I mean it's pretty straightforward. I think if in terms of results, it ended with Japan and South Korea playing against each other, and Jermaine scored really early in that match and ended up 1-0, and Japan wins the tournament, right? Outside of China, Hong Kong played a really good competitive match on the final match day to see who finished in third, where China scored. I don't remember who scored that goal in the first half, and it was another 1-0 result. So, pretty one sided matches. I think the first two match days between Japan and South Korea playing against China, Hong Kong, and then you have the head to head between China and Hong Kong playing each other, and Japan and South Korea playing each other. Which I guess format wise is kind of what you would want in terms of playing for first place, playing for third place. If we're doing a round robin style, it's probably the best case scenario. Rio Jermaine, he's the leading goal scorer of the tournament, had 5 goals, forward for Sanfrecce Hiroshima,
Hmm.
and he's the one that scored the winner in the final. So not technically a final, but basically a final, right?
Hmm.
And yeah, Japan go perfect, only concede 1 goal, as South Korea only conceded 1 goal as well against the goal they conceded against Japan, and they're the first and second place in the tournament.
Awesome.
Uh,
Let's move to the
the
women's
women's, it's a
which
bit
I
more
know,
competitive.
yeah, which I think
3 teams on
Kenta,
5 points. Wow.
yeah, Kenta. I remember. I think we were like watching a game or two together, and you were not happy with the way Japan are playing. I think who
Yeah,
ended up winning it? Was it South Korea who won it? I think it was South Korea who
South
won it.
Korea, yeah, South Korea
Yeah.
did win as the hosts. I guess not that this means a ton, but again, these are some B squads for certain teams, including Japan. Japan played a friendly against a European. Oh my gosh, I don't remember what European team they played. So they had 2 rosters come out in July. This for the Nanishiko national team, they had an A-team roster
Wasn't it
for the friendly.
it was
It was
Spain.
Spain, yes, ahead of the women's Euros.
Yeah.
So they had that, and then they played an entirely different roster for EAFF, which, like, say what you want. I feel like from the conversations I've had with some Japanese national team and women's national team players, I mean, I'm not saying this is indicative of how everyone thinks of this, but like they kind of almost sometimes see themselves as kind of like higher than the rest of Asian football, which is fine. They've won a World Cup. No one else has done that. So I guess they've earned their stripes and earned that kind of mentality. But nonetheless, Japan finished in third, only above Chinese Taipei, and then China finished in second, and the host South Korea win and go first. It's just all of them on 5 points instead of Taipei, which is just crazy to think about. South Korea and China drew in their head-to-head. South Korea and Japan drew in their head-to-head. And yeah, Japan and China also drew in their head-to-head. 2-2 for South Korea and China, I think it was. Japan and South Korea was 1-1. And then a no-no draw in the final match day between Japan and China. And then they all kind of just beat down on Taipei. So it was a very interesting tournament in that sense, because you had 3 teams that were hyper competitive against each other, and then just one team that everyone was like, okay, we're gonna beat up on them. Um,
Yeah.
it,
I don't
I
have
don't
much to
know
say. I
much
don't think
else
Erfan.
to say.
Yeah, I mean it's. I will say this. I think it's nice to see a different. Well, not necessarily a different winner. I mean, I know Japan was probably they were the favorites to win it. It's always cool to see a non-favorite winning it. Sorry, Kent. I know you're from Japan, so
Japan
you probably
finished third,
Japan.
not even
But
second.
yeah, it's. I agree with what you say, man. It's because I looked at Japan's roster, the B team, and I recognized a few players. I think there was Ishikawa. She joined Everton recently, right? And I think Yu Endo. I think those are players that get called up to the main team, if I'm not mistaken. Correct. Um, so some familiar faces there for the team. Nevertheless, that's that for the East Asian um, Championship games. Unless F1, you want to add something?
No,
No.
nothing from me.
All right. Do you want to have a quick gulp of your mix of drink, please, for us? People on Spotify or on like listening apps are probably wondering like, what
Yeah,
the hell
just
is
it's
going
it's
on.
finished now. It's done, but I'll make sure to
Cool.
get another one after the podcast is done.
Cool.
Um,
So let's move on
yeah,
to the CAFA under 20, our favorite confederation or federation. Sorry. Um, yeah, CAFA. They had a under 20 championship. Iran was there, Turkmenistan was there, Uzbekistan was there, and Kyrgyzstan was there. Afghanistan wasn't there, right? I think there was a few teams missing, correct? If I'm not mistaken, I don't know.
no, Afghanistan and Turkmenistan were there. They were there.
They were there. Okay.
They
Well,
just they finished last in the groups. So
okay. I'll let you go through it. Okay. Have fun. I have a few
yeah,
comments, so I'll let you go through it.
it was 2 groups of 3 teams,
Mm-hmm.
with the winners advancing to the final and the second place teams advancing to the third place match. Um, Tajikistan and Uzbekistan went on to the third place match, with the Tajikistan finishing third. a bit disappointing for Uzbekistan, who usually do well in these type of tournaments. And then in the final, Iran defeated Kyrgyzstan 2-0 and became champions for the second time in a row. Yeah, I mean the games were held in Tajikistan, and there's nothing much else to add. But yeah, it was a good tournament by Iran. I think they were a bit shaky in the first and second games, but then in the final, yeah, it was an easy win for them.
I was surprised with Uzbekistan. They were not particularly great, and I mean they're known for having a decent youth team. I genuinely was surprised with them. Not they weren't great. Iran, as you said, were shaky, but I think one thing that they were thankful to have was they had a great attack. Shafi Dust, Akbarzadeh, and whoever their other striker was, were very good. Shafi Dust is, I think he's 18 now, regularly playing for Sepahan, which
Sepahan,
is not
yes.
something you see every day in Iranian football. I mean, we've had this conversation before. And the keeper as well, Mahsoudi, which I think got called up to the under-20 team, despite only being, 17, 18? I don't know. Anyways, that's that for the CAFA under-20. Kenta, anything you want to add? Probably not. You're muted.
Go figure. You go back to like the U20 Asian Cup, right? And Uzbekistan and Iran both put up really good fights. I think they both were out just on penalties against South Korea and Japan. So like, Uzbekistan not performing as well as you expect is kind of surprising, I suppose. Purely just from the standpoint that you look back earlier this year and they didn't look too bad. So yeah, I can't say I watched a bunch of the matches, but
So, Kenta, you have to watch every single CAFA game, even if it includes CAFA under-17 darts. You have to watch it for the Asian Football Show, or else you're getting kicked out, man. You got to do better than that, bro.
my tenure
No,
might be very short-lived at this rate.
no, I'm just kidding. Well, speaking of CAFA, the CAFA Nations Cup 2025 got announced. Yay! I am so excited. I can't wait for the CAFA Nations Cup. It's something that I dream of every single day. Had a little bit of news surrounding it, actually. I think originally there was the 6 CAFA nations, so Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan, Afghanistan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, and Iran were supposed to. I think I said one country twice, but whatever. The 6 CAFA nations plus Malaysia and Oman got invited. But then Malaysia withdrew from the competition. I'm not sure why. They later got replaced with India. So yeah, Erfan, I'll let you go through your favorite competition.
Oh yeah, I'm so excited. I can't wait. Yeah, Group A is includes Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan, Turkmenistan, and Oman. The games will be played in Tashkent in Uzbekistan, and then in Group B we have Tajikistan, Iran, Afghanistan, and India. And the games will be played in Tajikistan. So it's a similar format like last time out. The first place teams advance to the final, and the second place teams go to the third place match. Um, and yeah, I mean, I think Malaysia withdrew because they couldn't guarantee sending their best players because of scheduling issues. I think that was the main reason they withdrew. But I'm excited to see India. I mean, I know they've not been as good as they should have been recently, but maybe, just maybe, this is a chance for them to show that um, maybe they're not as bad as people say they are.
I do have one thing to say. Actually, one thing to show you. So if you will, can you all just look at your screens? I have one picture that perfectly describes what Irfan just said. Let me just find it. Give me 1 second. But in the meantime, I I really do hope, from an Iran perspective, that we send out a B team, and for the love of God, don't send the main team. It will be the biggest waste of a game. I mean, I'm with all due respect to the nations playing there. You're preparing for a World Cup. Your friendly opposition should not be India. And who are we playing? It's Kyrgyzstan and was it Turkmenistan?
Afghanistan.
Like I'm sorry. With all due respect, that's terrible. I know in the news, the president said that if there's no better friendlies, then they're gonna send the main team to this CAFA competition. I don't know. It's all a mess, but it's. I really hope we don't send in our main team because that will be terrible. It's disastrous. And regarding India, Indian fans, look away. This is all I have to show. We're about to get bombarded with dislikes. I'm kidding, guys. I love you all. Anyways, on a more serious note, I'm excited to see what Kenta thinks about this draw or this whole competition. Because, I mean, for Erfan and I, it's easy. We have our opinions. I think it's...
Do you even think about this competition, Kenta?
Yeah, do you even think about this? Is it even something that freaking crosses your mind, bro? Like...
Not until you said it. No, it's obviously with I think to an extent Uzbekistan too. I guess they're co-hosts, so there's a bit more pride that goes into it in terms of your national team playing at home. But you've already qualified for the World Cup. You'd like to be playing World Cup caliber opposition heading into it to gain form to test kind of where you're at in terms of level of quality. It's really hard to do that when you're consistently only playing teams from your own confederation. And so, like, I'd like to see Iran not play an AFC opponent and like push themselves ahead of 26. So I do agree with that kind of thought process to an extent. Um, I guess if you're Iran on the, or I guess it was Uzbekistan rather on the bright side, at least you have Oman to play, who have shown that they can be a very high quality side at times. If I had to pick a third place team, assuming that Iran and Uzbekistan are kind of the finalists here, I think it probably ends up being Oman just from what I've seen. Um, but yeah, it's an interesting competition. I don't think I've particularly paid attention to the CAFA Nations Cup in the past years, so we'll see how this plays out in a
We
few
haven't either,
weeks.
Kenta. Don't worry.
we haven't either,
We
bro.
haven't. Yeah,
But
All right,
yeah, no, well, it starts in a couple more weeks, right? So I guess
two
something
weeks.
to keep an eye out for.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's move to the women's side of things. So, the Women's Asian Cup qualifiers and draw happened recently. We'll go through the qualifiers first. So there was a few groups. Group A, I'll go through the teams. Quickly, Iran, Jordan, Lebanon, Bhutan, Singapore. Iran topped the group and advanced to I think it's their second Asian Cup in a row, if I'm not mistaken, Erfan,
Yes.
which is impressive. Group B, India, Thailand, East Timor, Iraq, Mongolia. India went through going flawless. 4 games, 4 wins. 24 goals scored, only 1 conceded. Very, very impressive. Group C, we've got Bangladesh, Myanmar, Bahrain, Turkmenistan, Bangladesh going flawless. 3 games played, 3 wins. 16 goals scored, 1 conceded. Group D, Chinese Taipei, Pakistan, Indonesia, Kyrgyzstan, Chinese Taipei going flawless and topping their group. And then we have Group E, Vietnam, UAE, Guam, Maldives. Vietnam going flawless in their group and qualifying. And I think we have Group F, Uzbekistan, Nepal, Laos, Sri Lanka. Uzbekistan topping the group. And then I don't know why the groups on SofaScore are all mixed up. Group G, Philippines, Hong Kong, Cambodia, Saudi Arabia. Philippines going flawless, winning all 3 of their games. And then Group H, North Korea, Malaysia, Palestine, Tajikistan, North Korea topping the group. I don't think that's much of a surprise, to be honest with you. Yeah, so we have these. So the first of each group qualifies to the Women's Asian Cup that will be held soon. Any comments, guys?
I want to talk about Bangladesh because I think they're the only team that are making uh, their debut in this competition, and I'm not sure if they've been using the same system as the men's side, where they bring in uh, some of their players playing maybe in foreign countries. But if they have, it seemed to have worked out because yeah, they played well. They qualified for their first ever major tournament in the women's side. Yeah, and Iran as well. I think Iran have had a fantastic growth on the women's side over the last 5 or 6 years, from going to never have qualified for an Asian Cup to having qualified for 2 in a row. Even on the club side. We've seen Bam Khatun do great things in the AFC Women's Champions League. Yeah, I'm excited for this tournament.
Kenta?
Yeah, Philippines, oh, shut them out very quickly in their group. I know they were dominant in their first two matches, but they needed a big win on the final match day, and they certainly got it. Chandler McDaniel, an American-born Philippine national team player, scored early in the match against Hong Kong, where they won. Look, like the Philippines, I think they were semifinalists in 2022, if I don't remember that correctly. So I mean, it's a bit of a shame that yeah, losing that semifinal match or the third place match to Japan is what caused them to have to go through qualifiers again. Because if they would have won that match, they automatically qualify. Top three, first through third in the previous tournament automatically qualify. So you have Japan, South Korea, and China automatically qualifying along with Australia as the host. So it's good to see them back in this competition. Um, they're they had an incredible tournament last time around, so I'm really excited to see what they can do. And yeah, shout out to Chandler McDaniel.
Moving on to the actual Women's Asian Cup draw. Yeah, very, very excited. These groups are spicy, man. Let's go through these groups. So let's start with Group A: Australia, Iran, South Korea, and the Philippines. That for me is Jesus Christ is a massive group. I mean,
Group of death,
I
literally.
yeah, I dare I say it's the group of death. I mean, I don't think Iran is gonna make it out. I hope they do. I don't think they will. Um, I think Australia will go through. I think between South Korea and the Philippines, I've heard South Korea aren't doing as well as they used to. So I don't know. I'm not an expert. Um, I think Kenta will have more to say on that. I think the battle for second place will be open. Don't you guys think? Or am I
I think
completely
all teams
wrong?
but Iran make it through, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't have much confidence in Iran, but we'll see. Hopefully, they put in a fight. Um, yeah, that's Group A. Kenta, any thoughts on Group A?
Yeah, I mean you have three, two former champions, or rather one. Australia is a 2010 champion, and Philippines in the semis. It's just not a champion, I guess. Look, I'm really high in the Philippines. They're one of the team I think they're gonna surprise a lot, and I think they will do enough to make the knockout stage. It's I guess what we consider a lucky loser, I guess. Is that the correct terminology here? Australia, they're the host. Like they're already a great side, and then add the fact that they're the hosts. South Korea's women's team, I'm not sure. They did win the EAFF, so there's something there in terms of recent trophies. But again, I'm not sure if it'll be the exact same group for this competition as it was for the Eastern Asian finals there. But yeah, they should still do well. And so between Australia, South Korea, Philippines, I'm not sure what that front top three looks like, but I do have to imagine Iran just this is just such a tough group for them. Maybe if they're in a different group, we're talking about them finishing in third and having a chance to move on to the knockouts. But mm, my
We'll
my
see.
view on the Philippines would
Yeah,
push them
yeah,
above Iran for now, but we'll see.
we'll see. Group B: Bangladesh, China, North Korea, and Uzbekistan. Pretty straightforward group. Um, any comments on that, guys?
I think Uzbekistan are making their first appearance since 2003. So it's been a long time for them as well. They won on penalties against Nepal to qualify for this tournament. So I'm happy for them. Excited to see them back on the top stage of Asian women's football. Even North Korea, their last appearance was in 2010. I mean, they didn't qualify. They didn't participate for several reasons. With one of them, the COVID outbreak, I think last time, and some other reasons. But yeah, it's good to see two teams back in the competition, and of course Bangladesh making their debut.
Yeah, I mean North Korea is also a three-time champion, so they have the pedigree, right,
Yeah,
in terms of their history and what they can do. So yeah, another group where you maybe in terms of face value, not as like as big names as what we see in Group A, but they can still pack a punch. North Korea, they have the pedigree to be able to make a serious run in this tournament. So we'll see what this group looks like.
Group C: Chinese Taipei, India, Japan, Vietnam. Another straightforward group. I think Japan is gonna cruise through this group, or they should be at least. But I think the battle for the other spots should be interesting. Should be interesting to see. It's an exciting group. What do you guys think?
I think Japan should cruise through this with all due
Yeah,
respect to other teams.
yeah,
They should.
Yeah, I mean, all four teams are in the 2022 edition, so there's something there in terms of kind of the consistency we've seen with Vietnam, India, and Taipei, where like they were all in the competition last time around. I'm pretty sure there was a Vietnamese player that was the top scorer, goal scorer in in qualification last time around, and for 2022. I'm not sure if that's entirely accurate, but look, yeah, I still kind of back Japan, but I still acknowledge the fact that I'm incredibly biased. Um, so we'll see what this looks like. But yeah, all of these teams have you know they've they've been around the block in terms of AFC Women's Cup, Asian Cup. So
All right, bro.
not a ton
Stop
of
trying.
surprises. Yeah.
Stop trying to be nice, bro. We know Japan's topping this group.
Well,
Whatever.
Taipei's, they've won the competition multiple times, and like back like in the '70s and the '80s. So
Yeah, we put the prize in
I'm
the
not
bag,
sure
bro.
how
We
much
get
that
Put
it.
the
means.
We get it,
yeah,
bro.
put the fries in the bag, bro. We already know, man. No, I'm just kidding. All right, let's move on to what most of you guys are probably here for: the World Cup qualifiers, round 4. Very interesting stuff. Yeah, I have lots to say. It's crazy to see some of these matchups happening. I'll let you guys go first, and then I'll slowly give my own opinion.
I'm just pissed off that AFC went against their own rule that said, "Oh yeah, we're gonna let the best two third place teams host," and then they just go on to pick Qatar and Saudi Arabia anyways. So
Yeah,
yeah, I'm pissed off about that.
yeah,
It is what it is. I mean, they deleted all all documents after the new system was announced. But yeah, Qatar and Saudi Arabia are hosting the groups. Even though if we're going by what the AFC said, it should have been Iraq and the UAE. But yeah, the groups are in Group A, we've got Qatar, UAE, and Oman. And in Group B, we have Saudi, Iraq, and Indonesia. Um, yeah, I mean, five of these teams are from the Arabian Peninsula, Gulf teams. So we're gonna have at least one team from there qualify for the World Cup, and then Indonesia as well. Um, Kenta, what do you make of it?
Yeah, I mean Saudi Arabia, like I don't want to play like this whole like they don't deserve to host because they weren't like top two, but they fell in rankings because their B team played poorly in the Gold Cup. Like let's not act like this is like there's a bigger reason behind their team not playing well and like falling in FIFA rankings to cause this, and so I'm not considerably that annoyed about who's hosting. But yeah, this will be interesting. I've fallen in love with a lot of these national teams, and we've talked about these each of these teams in depth, right? For better or for worse, in terms of how they performed in the third round, and but this is an entirely different kind of format where you have two matches to kind of prove yourself, and so I don't know what to expect. Any of these teams can kind of just go on a run and have two really good matches, and all of a sudden you're looking at them topping a group or a team that we expect to play well. And they just have one really bad match, and you're facing not even moving on to intercontinental in the fifth round by by finishing last in your group. So formats like this is a bit more high stakes than what we saw in round four, where you had 10 matches to kind of be able to solidify yourself and you need more consistency in terms of quality of result. I'd like to back the teams that are the hosts just purely because they are hosts, and maybe that's kind of where annoyance comes from, where it's like if you didn't deserve to host because you weren't the top ranked two ranked nations, then you shouldn't get the privilege of hosting these like incredibly close matches and significant matches. But we'll see how it goes. Yeah, I think each of these teams have proven, I think, over the course of round three why they deserve and how they can win and why they deserve to be here, while also proving why they won't win. So um, we'll see. We'll see who ends up playing two really good matches and moving on, because that's what it is at the end of the day. I don't think it's indicative of how good these national teams are.
I mean, to add into that, I mean, we've seen how crazy this World Cup qualification has been in Asia. So we can sit here and say, oh, this team's going to probably go through, or we have a favorite. I think this is going to happen. I think that's going to happen. We could be completely wrong. We've seen this with both national teams and our wonderful predictions that we've had for the club competitions, which, I mean, Jesus Christ, we did a terrible job, guys. But yeah, it's exciting. As you mentioned, yeah, it's a new thing. So we'll see how it goes. You know, these teams are going to give their 200%. You know, it's even more important now. Not that the previous rounds weren't important, but it's even more important now, even more crucial. You know, every mistake counts. So I hope it's going to be
Let's do it,
entertaining.
Arya. Let's do the predictions for
Oh
the two teams
God!
that will qualify directly.
All right, should I go like the
I'll
sneaky?
start. Do you want me to
Should
start?
I? I'm just thinking. Should I go like the sneaky route and go with the teams that I don't think are going to qualify, so that if they do end up qualifying, then I'm going to look like a smart guy. But then, you know, like I don't
I'll go
know.
first. I'll go first then. I'll put
All
the
right.
cards on the table. Group A, I have UAE winning. Qatar in second and Oman in third. My reasoning is I don't think Oman even deserved to be in this. We go back to that Palestine match in round three. They didn't deserve to be here. And ball never lies, right? It's always going to come back. Not that it was Oman's fault that the refereeing decision was poor, but like it's always going to come back. So that's my true reasoning behind it. I think Oman finished third. I think Qatar, they're just defensively have just been so unbelievably poor this entire World Cup qualification. I just can't put any trust in them right now. When you're conceding as many goals as they are, I mean, we're looking at a team that conceded like 24 goals in 10 matches. I mean, I can't put my cards on the table with them over the course of over the course of two matches compared to the UAE, where if they just get a little hot in terms of scoring goals, right? That's kind of their issue. Like I could easily see them moving on. In Group B, I have Saudi Arabia finishing first, Iraq finishing second, Indonesia finishing third, and it pains me because you know how Indonesia's been so fun to watch. They've been able to beat Saudi Arabia head to head too, so maybe there is that conversation from round three that they can duplicate that performance, but. And maybe if that match wasn't the first match of the three, maybe I'm talking differently. Where Indonesia has kind of a warm up match heading into the direct tie between Saudi Arabia, but I just don't see them having enough. I don't think the coaching change in round three was entirely smart with them moving on from Shin Tae-young. And I think that's what's gonna happen.
I'll go. I'll go
I
second.
have the same.
Oh, all right. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I have the same things as you. I have the same predictions as you can. I have UAE and Saudi qualifying directly with Qatar and Iraq going on to the playoffs. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll go last year. Can I swear? Am I allowed to swear?
Yeah, go on.
Fuck you guys. I'm not going with the same thing. I'm actually gonna go the direct opposite. I'm putting Oman first. I'm putting the UAE third, I'm putting the UAE second. And I'm putting Qatar third. For Group B. Sorry, I can't. Okay, as much as I want to troll, I can't put Saudi Arabia anything other than first. I can't. I mean, if they're not first, that they're just tragic, bro. Like genuinely, it's tragic if they don't make it out. I'm putting Saudi Arabia first, and in between Iraq and Indonesia. Should I be biased because I'm Iranian and put Iraq third, or should I put? I don't know. I think it'll be an interesting game. Iraq, for me personally, I don't know. I wasn't really moved by their qualification rounds either, to be honest with you. Uh, Indonesia with their managerial change, I don't know what to make of it. I genuinely don't. You know what? Screw it, man. We'll put Iraq third, and I'll put Indonesia second. I know the Iraqis are gonna come crazy on my Twitter or YouTube. We've seen it happen before, but we're putting Iraq third, bro. Let's go. Let's do it. I'm going
Deserved.
against your. I'm going
Deserved.
against. I'm going
That
against you
is
guys. It's me against the
that's
world.
awesome. I mean, That's yeah. I mean, maybe Patrick Kluivert turns it around. I just haven't seen enough from him to be able to put all my cards on the table
Oh,
and be able to say
I'm
this is going to happen.
I'm not even going like with like any sort of like football logic. I'm just going against you guys, like genuinely. That's my only logic.
Holy
T1
shit.
hater.
All right, let's move on to the AFC club competitions. Very, very exciting stuff. Should we start with AFC Elite or sorry ACL Elite? Jesus, I can't speak. ACL Elite or ACL two? Which one should we go with first, guys?
Let's go to Elite, I think.
All right, I'll let you go through the stuff through teams.
Okay, yeah. I'll go through the playoffs first. So there was one playoff in each region. In the West, Al Duhail defeated Sepahan 3-2. It wasn't a bad performance by Sepahan. It
Butlers, bro.
wasn't bad. Yeah, but they're serial butlers, like all the time. And then Chengdu Rongsheng defeated Bangkok United 3-0 in the East region. And I've never seen their fans, but wow. I mean, the stadium was packed, and this was just for the qualifier. I'm very excited to see them in the actual competition and their fans showing up because if they show up like that, they can do really good things. Okay, do you guys have anything to say about the playoffs?
Yeah,
I'll
Sepon
briefly
a
go into
bunch of
the
butlers,
East.
bro.
Okay, I'm no.
Oh, sorry. I just wanted to add how like
No, no, no.
they're just butlers, bro. That's it. They're just butlers. Like, what are you guys doing, man?
Butlers of Persia.
Yeah, butlers of. I mean, you can't. I don't want to get too much to that, but I think as an SLL fan, you can't really be talking. I mean, we saw what happened against Tractor. I don't think you can call Sepahan
Anyways,
fans
moving
and
on,
just like.
Kenta, you were saying something.
Yeah, Chengdu has not. I don't think they've ever made in ACL competitions. I think this is their first time in the continental competition. You saw how impressive they were,
It is,
and
yes.
their fans showed
Interesting.
up. As you said, it was incredibly impressive. Um, yeah, I mean Bangkok United. I mean, we kind of go back to ACL two last year, and I think they lost to Sydney FC, but they still, had a good competition all around. Just couldn't beat. They had that red card in the second match, and lost to Sydney at home after drawing them in Sydney. It was this whole thing, right? I kind of expected a closer match than a 3-0 loss. For being all kind of honest, it kind of fell apart in the second half there, and obviously it was in Chengdu, and their fans, as you said, showed up. But yeah, I think that I don't think I expected that result in the East. I think I would have had that result reversed if I was being honest, based off of what I've seen over the past year or so. But yeah, shout out to Chengdu.
So for the West
Yeah,
region parents, oh, sorry, go on.
no, you can go. Nothing to say. You can go.
No, I was just gonna go through the teams that made it. Really, that's it.
You can do that.
Okay. Al Sadd, Shabab Al Ali, Tractor, Nasaf Al Shorta, Al Ali from Saudi Arabia, Al Duhail Sharjah FC, Al Al Ghafa Al Wahda FC, and Al Ittihad Club. Um, yeah, some nice teams there. We'll see what
Tractor got
happens.
very lucky with the draw, by the way.
They did, yeah, they did actually.
They avoid all Saudi teams. They play against some of the weaker teams at home. The better teams away. It's the perfect draw for them.
Yeah, it
And
doesn't matter. They're still gonna bottle. They're,
within, we'll see. But I have hope for them.
and then
Okay,
for
I'll go over the
the
East.
oh,
I'll
go
go
ahead,
over the East.
go ahead.
Yeah. So you have three Japanese teams. You saw Kobe, Sanfrecce Hiroshima, and Machida Zelvia, who finished top three in J League last year. You have three Korean teams: Ulsan HD, Gangwon FC, and FC Seoul. Um, I don't think Gangwon finished third, so I don't remember what the particular
They finished
reasoning
second
was.
in the K League.
No, oh yes, sorry, FC Seoul. They didn't finish third. So I forget what the particular reasoning was, but
It's because the third place
there
team
was a
isn't that the military team because they can't qualify for Asian competitions.
yeah, it's Kim Chung. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. So there's the reasoning there. Three Chinese teams after the playoffs, including Gangju. the two Shanghai teams in Shanghai Port and Shanghai Shenhua. Buriram United are back as well as Melbourne City and JDT, the Malaysian side. Your Eastern teams, including three debutants. Just fun.
Yeah, exciting.
We're, we're going to see
Um,
Lingardinho in the AFC Champions League, man. I can't wait.
and to wait for Lingardino to go to Tabriz. Gonna be amazing. Okay.
I mean,
So,
actually, sorry, I'll add one more thing. Um, we've had I was kind of looking at some of these teams, right? Because we've had like lots of transfers, right? Some of these players losing some of their players, some of them getting their players. So I think it's interesting, especially for the West region. Al Hilal being one, right? I think they just signed Darwin Nunez. I know it's someone we love to meme a lot in the football community, but like there's been a lot of transfers, so I'm excited to see how those guys are going to turn into in a competition like this. Um, we'll have to wait and see, man. I'm excited for this one.
Al
yeah.
Hilal, I mean, talk about the transfers. They thought they have a new manager, Inzaghi coming in. They bought the
Yeah,
Hernandez, like Nunez. I said, I mean, I mean, this is Saudi Pro League. The amount of money they spend is ridiculous. But yeah, they look like a very different side than what we saw last year, who kind
exactly,
of underwhelmed Al Hilal.
exactly. Cool.
Okay. So I guess I'll cover the ACL 2 playoffs. So FC Goa defeated Al Seep 2-1. And then Regar from Tajikistan lost to Ahal 2-1. So those are the two teams from the west. And then on the east side, Persib beat Manila Digger of the Philippines 2-1. So 3-2-1 results in the playoffs completes the lineup. So yeah, I'll go through the groups in the west region as well. In Group A, you have Al Wasl, Astaglal, Al Muharraq, and Al Wahdat. Um, and then in Group B, Al Ahli of Qatar, and Dijon of Uzbekistan, Arkadaga and Khaldiya. In Group C, we have Sepahan, Al Hussein, Mahmoud Bagan, which is going to be interesting. We'll talk about that. And Ahal from Turkmenistan. And then in Group D, we have Al Nasser, Ronaldo's Al Nasser, Al Zawra, Istiklal, and FC Goa. So, going through the groups, what do you guys think? Arya, I'll start off with you.
Yeah, I like the groups, man. I mean, the only team that's concerning here is Al Nassr. I mean, they have the better team on paper. They've made signings too. Signed Kingsley Coman from Bayern. Like, I think they're gonna be.
They got Inigo Martinez as well, right, from Barca.
Yeah, they're. I think they're just gonna win the thing. If I'm being honest, I think they're gonna dominate. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Frankly, they don't belong in this competition, for being honest, with the players that they have. But you know, it is what it is. You mentioned the Sepahan Mohumbagan thing, the whole saga that happened.
I think it should be fine though this
I've
time
heard
because the
rumors that
clubs
like
met. Yeah,
yeah, I've heard rumors that apparently some of Mohumbagan's like foreign players are gonna get granted special visas and such so they don't get in trouble. I don't know, man. Nothing's normal in
I
Iran,
mean
so
the visas are fine, but they
okay,
can't directly go from India, so they'll be going from Dubai or a third country. Yeah,
good. I think Group B is an interesting one too. I think it's a very balanced group. Um, I'm
yeah.
excited for that one. Um, yeah. Other than that,
Um,
yeah, Kenta.
I think Al Nassr are going to send like some of their
Oh,
for their away games at least. I think they're going to send like only local players. That's what I've been reading on media. So if they don't take the competition seriously, you never know what's going to happen.
yeah, yeah,
I view this Al Nassr situation similar to what we saw last year in the UEFA Conference League with Chelsea. It gives off very similar vibes
yeah.
where they're
I
like
agree. I agree.
clearly the favorites going into it, and you're gonna see this team rotate a lot in the first, at least in terms of like the group stage. Um, but yeah, they have to be the favorites, right? I mean, who are we kidding? Um, uh, yeah, but outside of that, I think there's a lot of teams that could make some noise, and we saw the kind of the tournament last year. It was chaos. So if it happened
Yeah.
last year, it can happen this year, right? Yeah,
And again,
that's the nature of
I
ACL
come out.
competitions.
I'm gonna come out with the same points. A lot of these clubs have made tons of transfers. I can think of Estelle Love being one. I mean, they've had the whole
We
oil
got
stuff.
Asani, just for Asani from Guangzhou.
That was what I was going to say. They
That's a
got a
really good
very,
transfer.
very good player. So we'll see. There's been a lot of transfers for these teams. So you never know. There's gonna be that moment of magic. Maybe Al Nassr does get knocked out. But to be fair to them, if they do get knocked out, I will be on Twitter. I will be reading every single message. Ronaldo's gonna get memed so bad if they get knocked out.
We will be there no matter what.
Yeah,
Let's move
I
on
can go over
to
the East.
oh. I mean
So
I keep going through the group, so that's why I keep saying let's go through it. I'm sorry, I'll let you go through it, bro. Let's go.
yeah, you have Group E with Beijing One FC. First, their debutants as well, finishing fourth in the Chinese Super League. MacArthur FC, the 2024 Australian Cup winners, their second time in the ACL competitions. Ratchaburi FC finished fourth in the Thai League. There's three Thai teams, by the way, because of Bangkok falling from ACL League qualifications. So you have three Thai teams in this competition. Sorry, Ratchaburi's not in this group. Taipo is. Taipo, the Hong Kong Premier League champions, their third time in ACL competitions, and Hanoi Police, who are also here.
What a great name.
Group F, yeah. Yeah, you got some fun names out here. Gamba
I mean,
Osaka, who finished fifth in
Hanoi
J League
Police,
last year.
bro. Like, what's next? Hanoi Ambulance, Bangkok Firefighters, bro. What the hell?
Oh my goodness. Namdin, who finished first and won the V League last season. Ratchaburi, as we mentioned, who finished fourth in the Thai League, as well as Eastern FC, who won the Hong Kong FA Cup last season. Yeah, so we have Group G. Bangkok United qualified, unsurprisingly, for this competition, as they lost in the ACL qualifying round. Or ACL Elite, sorry, qualifying round. Selangor FC, the Malaysian Super League runner-ups from this past season, are also here, as well as Lion City Sailors, a team we're very familiar with, who also won the Singaporean Premier League. And also, I think the Singapore Cup, if I remember correctly. Big celebrations that were all over my Twitter feed from how they celebrated, and they obviously made an incredible tournament in ACL team last season, along with Percy Bandung, who qualified in the playoffs, as we just briefly mentioned for ACL 2. Group H, FC Pohang Steelers of the K League, who won the Korean FA Cup this past year. BG Pathum United, not overly don't know this team very well, but they had finished third in the Thai League last year. Kaya FC, remember them? They won the Philippine Football League this past year, and they qualified for ACL too, as well as Tampines Rovers. Tampines Rovers were the runners-up in the Singaporean Premier League 2 Lion City Sailors, and have also qualified for ACL 2. And those are your Eastern Conference, Eastern region groups. Any thoughts initially?
Very balanced groups, I would say, and I think they're very unpredictable. On opposite of some of the Western groups, with the likes of Al Nassr, but in the Eastern side, I think things are a bit more open.
I need Hanoi Police to win it all. I need that to happen. Just for the name, it needs to happen, bro. Hanoi Police. I will be their biggest supporter, guys. Watch this space. But no, I agree with Erfan. Very balanced teams. Excited to see what happens. Can the Lion City Sailors surprise us again? It would be interesting to see. Do you guys have any favorites for who would go to the final? I mean, I know we
Al
predicted Al
Nassr.
Nassr to go to the finals
Oh, oh.
for the West side. For the East side, which team would you guys?
If they don't field an eligible player like the other Japanese team, maybe Gamba Osaka.
You, what about you, Kenta?
I don't know. I got burned last time around, as you said, some Petra Hiroshima said the field an eligible player. I think scored in that match, and all of a sudden, you're you're looking at the wrong side of I don't know, because Gamba Osaka haven't been convincing in J League. I would have said some French Hiroshima were convincing last time around. Like they were playing very well leading into ACL two. Gamba Osaka are very mid-table in J2, J1. Not that like that's inherently a terrible thing, but like they haven't been overly invested. So, we'll see how this plays out. But if I have to pick, which I guess this is the nature of you telling me to pick a winner of of the East, um,
You should join me,
I
bro.
will duplicate what happened last year, and we'll go Lion City Sailors. I'm gonna let
Wow.
them repeat to the final. Um, yeah, why not?
Yeah,
You,
Hanoi
Arya?
police for the win. We're not
Oh,
here
I
to
should have
take.
seen that
Yeah.
coming.
Okay.
We're here
Of
to take
course.
over, man. We're not here to joke around, man.
Who is
Hanoi
we,
police.
bro? Who is we? What do you mean we?
Imagine some like fan of this club watching this podcast and be like, "Who the hell is this guy, bro?" For a more serious answer, I don't know, man. This is so balanced. I genuinely have no idea. Uh, we're not. No one's really talking about Pohang or Beijing
I mean,
FC.
Pohang are three-time Asian champions, so
Exactly.
they do have the history.
They are playing well in
Mm.
K League, I think.
Hmm.
They're top of the table, so
Okay. Do I go with a serious answer or do I go with a not so serious answer, guys? You guys tell me.
We
ask
already
that
got the
question.
non-serious
You can't
answer.
ask that
Yeah.
question. That if you're gonna give a non-serious answer, you can't ask, "Do I give a non-serious answer?" and then proceed to give it afterwards. That defeats the whole purpose of the non-serious answer. You have to.
In that case, bro,
It has
Hanoi
to be a
police for the
surprise.
fucking win, man. Let's
Okay.
go, boys.
Alright.
Let's go, boys.
Oh boy.
This is such a shit show. No, okay. Serious answer. Serious answer. I'll back up. Poax Steelers. I think they can go all the way. Um,
To the
yeah,
final. Not to win it
yeah,
all, to the final.
yeah. No, I don't think they're winning it. No, no, no. I think no. Um, cool. So that's for the club competitions. Let's move on to our last topic. So moving on to the AFC Asian Cup Women Under 20 qualifications that happened just a few days ago. Yeah. There's been I think there's a lot of groups in here, so I'll just go through the groups and who qualified. So for Group A, we had North Korea, Nepal, Saudi Arabia, and Bhutan. North Korea advancing through with a goal difference of 36. They haven't conceded a single goal. Vietnam
Plus
for Group B.
36.
Yeah, plus 36. Group B, we have Vietnam, Hong Kong, Kyrgyzstan, and Singapore. Vietnam being the one going through. Then for Group C, we have Australia, Chinese Taipei, Palestine, Tajikistan. Australia are the ones that went in. Group D, India, Indonesia, Myanmar, Turkmenistan. A good one. India were the ones that qualified. They actually didn't concede a goal either, so props to them for going through. Group E, China, Lebanon, Syria, Cambodia. China going in as the team that has qualified. Group F, Japan, Iran, Malaysia, Guam. Japan, no surprises there. With a
Don't mention the
goal.
results.
I'm not going to mention the results, but I will mention
They okay. Well,
that
hold
they
on. They didn't concede a goal.
exactly.
They didn't
I'm gonna
concede a
give them
goal.
their props. Haven't conceded a
Yeah.
goal, plus 32. That is great. Good stuff from them. Group G, Uzbekistan, Jordan, the Northern Mariana Islands. That's not every day that you hear of them. They actually won a game, by the way. And Bahrain finishing in last place with they haven't scored a single goal, and they conceded 17. So yeah, I'm sorry. Uzbekistan are the ones that went through, and then the last group, Group H, South Korea,
As well
Bangladesh,
as Jordan.
Laos, and East Timor. South Korea went on, qualified. No surprises there, but a shout out to Bangladesh, who won 2 games, lost 1, and they had 6 points, and
They
I think they
qualified as
were.
well, though.
Did they?
Yeah. So
Three are
Jordan,
as well. So
Taipei, and
Jordan,
Bangladesh moved on as
yeah.
lucky losers. Yeah.
Oh, why doesn't it say it on my end?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, guys, I didn't know that. Because I don't pay attention
It's
to
fine.
the under 20 qualifications. Yeah, that's
And
cool to
then
know.
Thailand are hosts, so they qualify automatically.
They qualify through. Yes, that is correct. I don't really have anything to really say. I was just going through the groups. If you guys have anything else to add?
Bangladesh.
Just the rise of Bangladeshi
Yeah,
football,
Bangladesh is the
women's
one.
football. Yeah.
I think that's Bangladesh and India both. I think were
Bangladesh,
really,
it's their debut. They've never been in this competition before, so that's
And India the
had
first in
add to that.
2006. So.
Yes.
Yeah, 11-0 Japan. Yeah. Thank you, Arya, for mentioning that. So yeah, that's it, I think, for this episode. We didn't have an episode for about 2 months, so there was a lot to cover. But yeah, we're very happy to be back. It's a bit hard because we're all in 3 different parts of the world now. Kenta's in America, and Arya's in Japan. I'm in Iran, so we're traveling, so it's a bit difficult, but we managed to sort it out. And yeah, again, thanks to Mixer Drinks for becoming our sponsor. And then thank you all for watching and listening. Make sure to like and follow us on all platforms. And hopefully see you guys next time. Goodbye.